Hi, welcome to my channel if you're new here, and welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Anita and I've been selling on Etsy since 2011. I just passed my 10-year anniversary. And Etsy has been doing some things lately in the past year that has been scaring some sellers, including me. So I wanted to pop on here today and talk about how I've been migrating my shop over to Shopify. And I also want to talk about the things that Etsy has been doing that I don't agree with. So I'll start off with the issues, and then I'll talk about what I've been doing the last couple weeks with migrating my shop over to my new Shopify shop. Firstly, they started their new Offsite Ads campaign, which was mandatory if you sold over $10,000 US, which I did. So I am automatically into the Offsite Ads and I cannot opt out. And you have no control over the campaign, no control over where you're being advertised. And what I was finding was a lot of my offsite ad sales were coming from places like France and Australia and places like far overseas. I'm in Canada. So I was losing money because Etsy, the offsite ads would cost me 20%. And then the shipping, I wouldn't always have that accurate. So I'd lose money on shipping. And so I was basically not making money on those sales. And quite often I was losing money. So what I did was I stopped selling to outside of Canada and the USA. And guess what? The offsite ad sales stopped. So that's interesting. I do still sell a few digital patterns because those are available worldwide, but physical items, there's been no offsite ad sales for me. So that's been good, except that I can't sell overseas now. So that's one issue. The second issue is there have been stories in the Etsy Facebook groups about Etsy forcing a refund just because the customer complained. It wasn't necessarily the seller's fault, and Etsy refunded out of the seller's account without the seller's permission. So that hasn't happened to me, but I've heard about it happening, and that would really screw me up badly, especially if it was on a high-end item like a handmade quilt. I would have a big problem with that. So that's making me nervous. Sometimes Etsy will refund out of their own funds, which I guess is up to them, but they're kind of rewarding the scammers out there who are scamming the sellers. So I am worried about that. And then the third thing that's been happening lately is some of the sellers are saying in the Facebook groups that Etsy has put a hold on 75% of their funds for up to 45 days. And that is a big problem for people who sell custom made items. So for me, if I sell a custom quilt, I take the full payment up front, and usually at least half of that goes to ordering the supplies to make the custom quilt. And if Etsy put a hold on my funds, I wouldn't be able to buy the supplies, or I would have to take it out of the family budget, and then we'd be having a problem buying groceries. So that is, they just keep taking more and more control of your own business away from you, and that is really starting to concern me. So now I've turned off all my custom quilt listings on Etsy because I can't have, it seems that they're doing it to people that have a longer processing time. So say your processing time was 3 weeks or 6 weeks, that's when they're slapping the hold on sellers. And this one seller who posted about it, she has been on Etsy longer than me and has more sales than me. She's been on since 2009. She has over 5,000 sales. She's a 5-star seller and has 100% in all of their new star seller categories, and they still slapped her with this 75% hold on her funds. So it does look like her processing times are longer though, so that could be why. But when you're making a custom quilt, you can't get it out in 2 days. So for me, I've had to shut off my custom quilt orders on Etsy, and I'll have to be running those through my Shopify site. So it's just becoming more and more difficult to do business on Etsy. And on the one hand, they're telling you to offer custom. People want custom. And then you offer custom, and then they're holding up your funds and you can't order the supplies you need to make the customs. So yes, this is very concerning. And this seller, she seems to have a perfect record. So it's not like she's been a problem seller, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And then the whole shutting shops down and there's no legitimate reason, and you're struggling for weeks to get your shop back open. These things are all just really concerning me and making me very nervous. So I finally bit the bullet, went back to Shopify. So let me just say that I am not closing my Etsy shop. That would be crazy. There's so much free traffic over on Etsy. Definitely don't shut down your Etsy shop, but in case your Etsy shop does get shut down or it becomes impossible for you to work with their rules, then definitely I think have a backup plan like your own Shopify site. I was on Shopify in 2018, and then I think I closed my site down again in 2019 because I was selling mostly supplies on there, and I got out of the supplies market, and I felt like that having a Shopify site was an extra monthly expense. But now I feel like having a Shopify site is insurance for if and when something crazy happens to your Etsy shop or your money, your cash flow from Etsy. So I feel like I have no choice. I have to go back to Shopify, and I don't mind Shopify. It's not that I didn't like Shopify. I just felt like it was one more thing to pay for. In 2018, when I started my Shopify shop, there was an app to migrate your stuff over from Etsy, but it cost money. And so that's kind of what's been holding me up from restarting my shop, is like, oh, okay, I got to pay for the shop, and then I got to pay for the app, and then I got to pay for a theme. And I was all feeling like it was going to be too expensive. But actually, they now have a free app that you can easily migrate your Etsy shop over to Shopify. It doesn't cost anything. You do have 2 weeks free, which is good because it's going to take me probably more than 2 weeks to get completely set up. But you have 2 weeks free before you start paying. The new themes that they have, the free themes, are awesome. Now, I did notice that the paid themes got way more expensive than the last time I was on there, but the free themes are cool, and I've got one that I'm very happy with. So don't hesitate to get going on your Shopify if you're worried about the migration from Etsy or the cost of the themes, because you can get started with the free theme and get your shop up and running at least. With the migration, I migrated over 249 listings, and there were 3 that didn't work, and out of all that. So that saved me a ton of time. All the photos, all the descriptions, all your order history, all your customer history, all came over in the migration. It was awesome, and no problems except for the 3 listings. And then you don't have to go and upload all your pictures and all your descriptions. And thank goodness, because I've been just using my phone for the last year, and I haven't saved all those photos onto my computer. Definitely, if you're concerned about that, I'm telling you, it's not a big problem. Now, once you get everything in, you're gonna have to go in and update, like edit all your listings so they look nice, like put in all the returns after sentences to make paragraphs. And the listings that have variations get pretty screwed up when they come in, and you have to go in and edit each variation. So that is kind of killing me right now. That's what I've been working on, but still, the amount of time that was saved is well worth it. So yeah, you guys need to look out for yourselves. Get yourselves covered in case something goes wrong with your Etsy shop, if that's your main income, which it is for me. Yes, I recommend Shopify. I recommend their migration app that's free, and don't hesitate to get your Shopify site going so that you have a backup. Okay, I hope this was helpful to you. Leave any questions in the comments. I'll try to answer them, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos from Daydreams of Quilts.